What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Showdown Breakdown Thursday Night Football edition. And we've got a stinker tonight coming up with the Jets heading it out to New England to take on the Patriots. Jets, I don't even know what to say. We've seen some terrible low-scoring island games in the last few weeks, and this might be the stinker to end them all. At least on the Jets side, Bobbywow.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. Although, coming off of a win, we'll take what we can get as Jets fans, right? Or at least I shouldn't speak for you.
I guess, but this is a brutal matchup. You know, Patriots defense is actually good, and that is a problem for the Jets. It's going to be a big problem here, I think. Let's just take a look at what the field is doing right here. I'm assuming I see a lot of ownership there on Trevion Henderson. Do we have definitive word that Ramondre is out tonight?
He's officially out along with Booty.
Yeah, Booty's out. Actually, that's a good thing for us.
Out.
Yeah, that tightens up the player pool a little bit. We'll get into that and the matchups tool in a second, but let's do a quick browse of the captain position for this game and just kind of see where the field is going here. May, Henderson, a little bit of Breece Hall. Okay. All right. And then a little Diggs, a little Field. Okay. All right. I mean, like, this is crazy. Patriots defense is probably better than some of these spots. You got a little bit of Fields in there, a little Hunter Henry, Mac Hollins, and so on and so forth. Now, Bobbywow, I mean, first look, do we have to go beyond Drake, Henderson, and maybe like a couple of pass catchers, Diggs and Henry here? Maybe Patriots defense?
Here's kind of where I've landed, and we can unpack this a little bit, but Justin Fields is the king of looking atrociously awful and then randomly reminding you, like, all of a sudden it'll be like, oh, he'll play competent. It'll be like, man, maybe this guy has what it takes. This, to me, feels like a game where no one's expecting Fields to do well, and he does, and it's like, oh, okay, that's right. He like every twice a season, he reminds us that he was a first-round pick, and he's he has some of the intangibles. I think this could be a game where that happens. That is the contrarian approach that I have landed on.
That is interesting. I mean, I guess I feel like he's done it. I feel like he's done it already. He's had those pop games where he's surprised. I don't know if we got any more in him.
He's all out.
I think it's already done. I think that already happened, Bobby. Wow, this is a very tough spot. This is, to me, a little bit more of one of those games where it's just death at the end. That being said, you're right. Listen, Justin Fields can just garbage time somewhat get it done by accident. Runs for one. The Patriots are in prevent mode, and you get that next level situation. So, these are all things to consider and think about as we're kind of breaking this stuff down. But let's jump over to the matchups. So obviously we see what the captains are. And again, I mean, Breece Hall, I'm not, he could work, but like, am I playing an underdog, a 10-point underdog running back on the road? I don't want to play him at all. Like, I'm going scorched earth tonight.
I think to me, Fields is really the only viable Jets captain outside of maybe like Mason Taylor if you want to get super extra cute. But yeah, I don't know that I'd touch Breece Hall. Horrible matchup. And Justin, if anyone's running and getting it done, it's going to be Justin.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, let me jump over, guys. I've got a little bit of technical. Some of you noticed I'm having a little technical situation here with the old studio that I'll be rectifying later. But the cadence is getting a little weird here because I've got these little technical issues. But let's jump over to the matchups tool. Okay. And let's get that going on screen. And we're going to take a look at this game and just some usage numbers and see what we can figure out more so about the Patriots. I don't really know what's going on with the Jets, but Bobbywow, check this out. Trevion up to a massive 83% snap count last week. Trevion's the guy now.
He's the guy. And he exceeded expectations. I feel like it's 2 weeks in a row now that he exceeded expectations, and last week really popped off. So I think we're just gonna have to lean into that again here.
Go heavy with it. I don't even know if Darrell Jennings got banged up in that game. I feel like he did. But is Terrell Jennings banged up at all right now?
I think Jennings is fine. I think he's going to play.
He's got a Q tag on him. He did get banged up in that game. Questionable for tonight's game. I mean, it's not
regardless,
even
that it's Trevion.
Yeah, it's not that relevant other than even more reason to load up on Trevion if Jennings has that Q tag, which he does. All right, now let's take a look at the wide receiver group for the Patriots, and I think we can find a sneaker in here, but obviously with Booty out, and Booty was out last week as well, I feel like the main beneficiary has been Kyle Williams, the rookie from, the rookie who hadn't been getting much playing time. He saw his playing time increase. Last week, Mac Hollins all of a sudden gets a massive Diggs, and Hollins all of a sudden got a bunch of targets. So, Mac Hollins out there with Stephon Diggs as your primary wide receivers. You got Pop Douglas and Kyle Williams mixing in. Douglas fewer snaps, but seems to get, some reasonable targets here and there. And Kyle Williams, I like these rookies that are on the upswing a little bit, Bobbywow, that where you could really expect maybe to see a little more from him each and every time out there.
Agreed. Yeah, I think he's one of your contrarian options at captain for sure. Williams. It is interesting that Mac Hollins did see the target boost. Kyle saw the snap boost, Hollins saw the target boost. I'm not gonna count on that again here. So I really like the idea of kind of a sneaky Kyle Williams at captain.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on Diggs and Mac Hollins each getting 30% target shares this week.
Diggs, I can understand. Diggs has at least been somewhat consistent. He's 20% target percent on this target share on the season. So he's the number one guy. He's not the safest as far as number ones go, but he's going to get his targets.
And captain worthy, there is no sauce left on the Jets to shut down a WR1. So captain worthy, I said captain worthy Diggs. Mac Hollins, maybe to a lesser extent, captainable. Hunter Henry has gotten it done at times where he would be a captain eligible player as well. And then, of course, I think the best of them is going to be Drake May or certainly Trevion Henderson.
Right, because no Williams either, right? No Sauce, no Williams.
Yeah, they don't have – the Jets' defense is depleted. Forget what happened last week. They played against a depleted offense last week. It didn't matter. All right. Let's take a look at the Jets for what it's worth, and it's not worth a whole lot, Bobbywow. It ain't worth a whole lot, but it's gross. So, Breece Hall, Isaiah Davis kind of working that workhorse backup situation, 70-30 split. Breece Hall, of course, coming off of a big game. Do we want to chase that? Probably not, right? Let's not overreact. As I scroll down here, the wide receivers are crazy. I don't even know who the wide receivers are at this point, but at tight end, of course, Mason Taylor seems to be sort of the best player right now to target as a pass catcher on the Jets. 20% target share, 80% snap count last week. Jeremy Ruckert worked in a little bit as well, so pay attention to that turd, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. The problem is Justin Fields threw the ball 11 times. I mean, no wide receiver, no pass catcher is going to flourish when the quarterback throws 11 times.
It's absolutely gross. I mean, just to know who they are, it looks like Tyler Johnson and Arian Smith are the two primary wide receivers. They're working in a little bit of this other guy, Isaiah Williams. Even John Mechie got a snap or two.
Wow.
The whole thing's disgusting. Yeah, this is absolutely gross.
It's Tyler Johnson. He's the number one guy, and that's just pitiful. That's just a sad state of affairs for the New York Jets.
How about Justin Fields throwing it 11 times? It's actually getting ridiculous. It's genuinely getting ridiculous. All of these guys got one reception. 9% target share. Great. One catch, two catches, nothing special. This is a destruction.
Not that it matters. I don't understand why they're so reluctant to go to Tyrod Taylor. Like why? I mean, I guess.
No, Fields won. So they're like, all right, let's throw it out there one more time. I could see Fields getting benched during this game.
Aaron Glenn is a clown. I'm sorry. He is not a head coach.
Yeah, the whole thing's disgusting. But at this point, I'm hoping the Jets try to pick up Brian Daboll.
Maybe.
I don't know.
Look,
But
here's the thing about Fields, though. And we talked about it a little at the beginning. He plays. He's an instinct player. So I really feel like it's certainly likely that he stinks. Right. This is a great defense. The Jets have nobody. There are no weapons. But Fields has kind of that Tim Tebow it factor in him, where in a rivalry game when no one expects him to perform, it just kind of feels like the game where he keeps his team alive somehow. So again, I'm not saying he's going to smash. I just, I can't get off that thought.
Bobbywow, a little contrarian take there. I'm not on board that that approach. I think this game will play how you think it will, how one would believe it would play, which is an absolute and utter domination by the Patriots defense, their offense. I think the Jets are in quit mode by the third quarter. Yep. Just get me out of here. I can't take it anymore. And watching this game is going to be torture. Yeah, orangutan tread salesman. All right, we're going to work on that. We'll get that cleaned up. But that being said, let's now jump over to. No, he's right. You're right.
Anytime orangutan tread salesman speaks, we listen.
No, he's right. My camera, I have a weird camera thing, and it's shifting the StreamYard to 720. One of my cameras, but I'm not even on that camera right now. So I don't know. Yeah, we'll do it for the next one. All right. Let's move on. Let me get out of this one here. Stop screen and go back to the domination station here. So we're going to go back to the domination station and take a look at some of these projections and some of these numbers, Bobbywow. So again, we talked about the captain spot. Drake May coming in with a prop of 33 for captain prop. Trevion Henderson right behind at 26.5. And actually the points per dollar value is almost the same. Let me go to props projection just to make sure, but it's a little better for May, but not that much. Kind of similar. Breece Hall is a massive drop down to 18. I'm just going to fade it. I am not playing Breece Hall captain at all. I'm full fading it, Bobbywow. 15%, 0 for Kev.
I'm
0.
Comfortably fading the captain Paul as well.
Yeah, gone. Steffi Diggs, playable there, I think. Acceptable. If he just has one of those, I think any of these pass catchers for the Patriots could like randomly pop off from one of those special kind of games that allows you to play a ton of them. But either way, I mean, the slate sets up. You just want May and Trevion pretty much in everything. And then you just got to figure out a way to squeeze them all together with other Patriots guys.
Yeah, which shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah.
To me, like, look at where are we at here? Scroll down. Hunter Henry is just absurdly cheap.
Yeah, that's a reasonable price for Hunter Henry. That's a captain price of 8,100, which means his flex price is probably 5,500 or something like that. Yeah, 5,400.
Yeah, I might have paid 8,100 for flex Henry. Look at this.
Yeah. Let's see here. Let me just work this magic here. So again, projection wise, I mean, look at the difference. Fields is projecting for 11.6. This is not the spot, Bobbywow. This is
look. I'm just telling you. I watched Justin for a long time, way too long. I'm glad he's not a Bear anymore. But we saw it in Week 1 against the Steelers. He had no business putting up a ton of fantasy points, but it was a revenge game. That instinct kicked in. It's ugly, and the props say no. Everything says no about Justin. I'm just saying I've seen it. I've seen it before.
You're saying my mind is telling me no, but my body is telling me yes.
Something
Sorry,
like that, yeah.
I won't do that again. A couple of interesting notes here. So talking about Hunter Henry, both Hunter Henry and especially Mason Taylor. Mason Taylor, weirdly, is projecting the best out of just about anybody on this whole slate from 4K.
He's way too cheap. Here's the thing about Taylor. If Justin throws the ball more than 11 times, Taylor is more likely than any pass catcher on the Jets to do well and to be in the optimal, partially because of his price. But we've seen Taylor get like a massive target amounts in games this season. So yeah, I can understand why he's 4K, especially when your quarterback's throwing 11 times. But to me, he is the top play outside of Justin Fields on the Jets, and it's not very close.
I think I'd rather save the money and actually go down to him. Like, I don't want to pay 9,400 for Fields if I have May and Trevion in my lineup already, you can't really do that. I think Mason Taylor might be the play of the Jets.
Yeah.
So you got to click one. Mason Taylor, probably that guy. Hunter Henry, though, also projecting much better, like really, really well based on his salary level with this 10.2. So those are some spots to mess with. Yeah, Matt Collins here at 9.2, similar price point, but Matt Collins actually projects less good than Hunter Henry for a few $100s more. So we're kind of
vast majority of my DraftKings lineups will have both of these starting tight ends.
Yeah, they both stand out.
Because then you can do whatever you want, and they project as two of the clear best value plays.
And not to mention, they'll all have May and Henderson in them. Pretty much all of them. The vast majority of these other guys, I can't see too many lineups without May and Henderson in them based on how this slate is probably shaping up right now, Bobbywow.
Yeah.
Let's scroll down. I don't even know. Do we need to dive into the turd zone for this slate at all? Like, where are there some pay down options that
you do have to dive down here?
At all? Donnie Mitchell's on the Jets now. What if they work him in?
Jeez.
They will. Why not? Why wouldn't
if they work Mechie in, then yeah, wouldn't be a shocker. I just think, you mentioned it at the top. There is blowout potential here. And in blowout run, that is where guys like Tyler Johnson and Mac Hollins even, could sniff the optimal lineup. So I do think you have to account for it.
Yeah, but not in
Tyler Johnson WR1 and he's 3K.
I mean, is he WR1? I don't know. Yeah, he's kind of WR1.
What does that even mean for the Jets? I don't even know, but he is. And it's
gross, man. It's a bizarre one. I'll tell you right now. It's not really bizarre. It's just like gonna go the way that a lot of these games I think have went, which is the better team, the home team, in this case, the Patriots, are gonna do their thing. And the Jets are going to be garbage because that's who they are. They can beat a low-level team like the Browns, who also can't generate offense. They can beat a low-level team even like the Bengals that week, where they're so poor defensively that they actually give it to you. But the Patriots are one of the most well-rounded teams in the National Football League right now. Their defense is great. Their offense is great. Everything about this team is class. And everything about the Jets right now is no class. Yeah. That's the problem.
Yeah.
And usually that ends in tears. That usually ends in tears.
Yeah, I agree. I really like your Adonai Mitchell mention, though, because that is a really intriguing piece here. None of the Jets wide receivers are at all inspiring by any means. But you're right. Adonai has some talent. He didn't play last week. I think he makes his debut here and probably slots in at WR2 at worst, if he does. So I'm just glad you mentioned that, because I'm going to have to click that button a few times now.
Yeah. All right. So let's jump in and take a look at DraftKings. I don't really see anything more here that we need to even seek through. So let's jump over to DraftKings, kind of throw together a little, let's call it a little demo of kind of what a lineup might feel like tonight. Let's do some obvious stuff with that. So let me jump over there. We'll grab the old DraftKings and kind of take a look and get a little demo going here, right, Bobbywow? So let's get started. I think it's either May or Henderson as your primary captain. Let's throw Hendo up there.
Okay.
With May in the flex for this one. So we already said from the Jets, if I'm going chalk, so to speak, with this lineup, the only guy I'm really interested in is Mason Taylor. By the way, his dad, Jason Taylor's going to be there. And I have it on authority. He's bringing his smoking hot wife, girlfriend, whoever that sitting on his lap chick was from the last time they played the Jets. Going to be there.
All right. There you go.
That's the reason. I'm giving people a reason to watch, Bobbywow. Everybody drink when the camera pans over to Jason Taylor and his hottie. Just that's what I'm going to drink. Blue Moon game for tonight. Gives you a reason to watch. All right.
Reason for the season.
Yeah, it's a reason to watch. All right. So Mason Taylor, Drake May, Trevion, I think Patriots defense is like as good of a play as anything. Go Hunter Henry. Not expensive. Where the heck is Hunter Henry? My eyes won't see it. There it is.
5,400.
5,400, 6K left. Mac Hollins. So.
Oh, God.
It's not great. I don't even think you're going to have to spend the whole salary this week, by the way. It could just be like, who's that last piece? Kicker from, I'd go with something like that too, Bobbywow, and it could work. This is the one I like the most. Yes. Patriots kicker, Patriots defense, Patriots running back, May, and just Mason Taylor.
Yeah. I think that's the most sensible lineup, probably.
Yeah. The onslaught. Yeah, we can, from here, you could get super, I got to make this bigger. I get what people are like. I can't see your screen, but from here, it's the onslaught, right? Like I could do different versions of this. All right. Take out Patriots. Wow. Patriots defense at 6,600, by the way. Is that the most expensive defense we've ever seen?
That's gotta be, it's gotta be up there. And Ballaholics right too. You did shout this last week and I doubted you and it hit again.
Yeah. I don't see double defense here, guys. We've hit double defense a few times on these, and that was the nuts play. And by the way, solo nuts. When you do double defense, you solo it. There's no ties. You get it by yourself, which is really cool. So, that was great. I don't see it here, guys. I do not see Jets defense on the road doing anything unless the Patriots hand it to you. You know how sometimes, Bobbywow, you watch these island games and the better team is just off. And you're like, wow, Baker Mayfield sucks all of a sudden. Remember that game where it was like Baker he was overthrowing everyone. And I'm like, Baker's just off when they were playing the Lions. And I'm like, dude, this is not the same guy that I watched last week or the week before. He's overthrowing everyone. He's missing. His timing is off. This guy's just having an off day. Could that happen with could the whole Patriots offense be like, who gives a shit? It's the Jets. Let's party last night. Let's not worry too much about this one. Not prepare. It's so easy. You let your guard down a little bit, and then all of a sudden the offense is off, and like Jets defense does something. All right.
Yeah, we saw it last week too, right? Not an island game, but we saw the Dolphins completely obliterate the Bills in every facet of the game. This is the NFL. This is a showdown slate where crazy things and anything can happen. And by the way, everyone's pumped about the Patriots defense play, and understandably so, but at 6,600, they're going to need to do a little bit more than just shut the Jets out, right? And they certainly could, but this isn't just like a 16-0, or 28-0 Patriots win. Doesn't necessarily get you there with the defense.
No, would take multiple turnovers.
That's the problem. Yeah.
I don't think Patriots at that price defense is a lock button, right? So that's what
I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it's very comfortable to say, all right, I did one like that. Now let's do one with somebody else in there, or some other player. Let's get Diggs in there. Fine. Like the top guy. All right, cool. You got Diggs in there. Got to switch it around a little bit. Find someone else. Maybe this is where you can throw that Adonai Mitchell type last name in. That's probably what's going to, like Arian Smith or something, some rando, or even better, Kyle Williams. I'd actually rather go to like a Kyle Williams. I'd like to like my personal thing is like, I think we should actually be looking for turds and pretty much anyone on the Patriots. The problem with Fields is even in garbage time, he doesn't throw a lot.
No, I know that's why it's hard to play any pass catcher, but that's also why Fields will be my most, I'll have the highest exposure to him of any Jet outside of Mason Taylor.
I'm just going to point this out for Ash, but like, I'm, as a Jets fan for a long time, the only time they tend to start winning is when you shift focus and want to, at least there's a great quarterback coming out this year. And then they just win 3 games in a row and just screw it up. The Jets will always, I have a 45-year window of this, Bobbywow.
They're the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah. My window of that is years and years and years. They will fuck that up too. They will not get the first pick unless it's a shitty, or when they finally do get it, it's that year where you have to take, Tennessee fans, but it's that year when you have to take Cam Ward and you're like, oh, all right, fine. You know, it's not the franchise changer. It's the, well, you know, he's the best guy we have this year, so I guess we'll try. You know, it's that. We never get the great guy.
And I can guarantee you that Aaron Glenn is playing to win. The Jets aren't losing on purpose. They don't have to try to lose because they stink, but they are trying to win. I can assure you of that.
Schwan might be right, man. I think I am converting into a Giant. I'm not a Giants fan, but I'm a Dart fan. Does that make me a Giants fan, Bobbywow?
You know what's crazy? I'm a Dart fan. You've been a Dart guy, and now you get to cheer for JMO on the same team. Like, what? This is a dream.
Yeah, I'm kind of liking the Giants right now. In general, but like it's mostly Dart. I love JMO too, but JMO could be on the Jets next year. Like, I don't know. JMO could be anywhere. I lost my my Jameis Winston little dancing jamming to the Bob Marley song short. I don't have it anymore.
No. All right, we got to get that prep for tomorrow for tournament tactics because we're going to need to fire it up.
You can't even play that because
dust it off.
Even 3 bars from a Bob Marley song gets a YouTube strike. Like, you can't play it. I can only do those in the live streams that don't get monetized. Like this one, I could have done it. We don't monetize this, but the tournament tactics one, I can't even play it. All right. I mean, that's it. You're seeing on screen, guys. The main thought today, Patriots onslaughts, they're very, very obvious. I think a lot of people will do it. I don't think we have to get that cute. I don't see making a lineup with more than 2 Jets in it. So even if the Jets start doing something, the Patriots are going to answer even harder. So there's no version of this where, like, let's say the Patriots, the Jets, all of a sudden they score, punt return for a touchdown. Maybe Jets defense, maybe that double D, just weird shit. They scored 2 defensive touchdowns last week. Not defensive, but special teams.
I feel like we're more likely to see a double kicker game than double D here tonight. I just think, the Jets, if they're competing at all, it's because the Patriots are struggling to score and they're kicking field goals. And that means Nick Folk is also kicking field goals. So I wouldn't rule out the kickers here.
I like that thought. I like that thought a lot. Maybe on the Jet side, Mason Taylor mix in some of that kicker as well. They don't get shut out, but it's scoring touchdowns. The Jets are going to score touchdowns. Now, and I also think that again, mea culpa if I'm wrong here, guys. Wrong a lot. You know this. I'm going to be wrong all the time. But I can see Breece Hall being very fadeable at his price. I just don't get it. If Breece Hall is scoring, the Patriots studs are going to also answer, and they'll answer stronger. So I don't feel like I need to pay up for Breece Hall. It's weird to say it even because I in a showdown, I normally don't like to do stuff like that. You know how like during the Eagles one, I was telling you, AJ Brown and Hurts is no bueno. We got to go with Smith. But in the end, I still played a bunch of AJ Brown, not as much as Smith on that one, but like, and then I was like, why didn't I listen to me? As I'm watching the game, I'm like, man, this played out exactly how I thought. Not the way the game went, but just that Smith is always the better play than AJ Brown. It's been that for a while. And then I was like, why didn't I listen to me? Was watching it. Like, why'd I make sure, like, I forced myself to take like 20% Brown. And I was like, I should have faded that fucker and just gone all in on what I said.
Yeah.
As opposed to just, what I normally do is, I smooth it out. Like, all right, 30%, I'll go 15%. But sometimes you got to go all in on that.
Yeah, agreed. With Hall's upside, his intrigue is based on passing game work to me. This only path is through PPR and receptions. And again, Fields threw it 11 times last week. He had 1 target and 1 catch and went for a touchdown. That's why he popped off.
We all remember that. Oh, he caught a pass for a touchdown. It was the only catch of the game. The Fields is just not going to throw that much. But again, here's my thought with Breece Hall. Yes, he looked good last week. Great. Okay. Look great. But let's go back to our fundamental understanding of fantasy football, which is 10-point underdog teams on the road are generally not where you want to pay up for a running back. We want favored running backs, right? You want favorite running backs with high team totals that have a chance to grab some of those touchdowns. The Jets are projecting for 15. I think that's a high. I bet the under. I'd be looking at that under all day, right? For the team total. I don't think they get 2 touchdowns here. Again, egg in my face. If it's wrong, I'll accept it. You guys don't have to listen. As a matter of fact, I don't want you to listen. Do whatever the hell you want to do. Gabriel Prophet says, don't even mess with Fields. Which is probably right, too. I think you could. I mean, it's reasonable.
I think he might be saying you could play one of those guys. Don't play both. And to me, I just don't see how it's not Justin. Justin Fields is the RB1 for this team. And he happens to be able to throw, a couple times. So, yeah, it's Fields overhaul for me all day, every day.
You know how you always...
And I know you're grossed out by Justin, but, man, I'm just shocked that his ownership is as low as it is.
I mean, that was really just his flex ownership is high. That's what I'm saying. His flex ownership is still 40%. Like, it's still high. I think it's too high. 40% for that price. So he's still getting flex ownership. But to me, I don't really get, like, I'm paying for even a 16 from Drake May is probably enough. And combine that with Trevion Henderson, even like a 15, a mediocre score. But I think Trevion is the
I agree.
I think Trevion is the best. I think Trevion is the best of the Showtime just brought up something really interesting. But I think Trevion is the best play on the slate.
I couldn't agree more. Yeah, to me, he's the number one, virtually all-in play for me.
I could see him outscoring Drake May. I could see Drake May outscoring him. Like, I see that as either one. But even if May's getting it done, I think Henderson's getting it done too. I really like honestly, I like the lineup we have on the screen here. Maybe not the Kyle Williams part. Again, maybe I could switch up Diggs for something else. But that is a build off of. This situation is a very comfortable swap and build. All right, you don't want Diggs? Diggs can disappoint. He's not a must play at all, right? So you can go, all right, well, if Diggs is not getting it done, I got Henry in there. Again, we could go with Kyle Williams, or even Pop Douglas pops off for a big game, although does not anywhere near earn the price point of his salary where it's at right now. Or Mac Hollins gets it done. Okay, we got Mac Hollins in there. Patriots defense, again, another kind of version of it that really works, all built off the same base. This is it, guys. Patriots onslaughts tonight all day. Let's talk a little FanDuel, Bobbywow, but I'm going to tell you right now, FanDuel is going to look even uglier. I think Fields is a more reasonable button click on FanDuel, but let's take a look at what the let's take a look at what the domination station shows for FanDuel this week and see if we can figure out what to do here. So let's load up the DOM. Let's go over to FanDuel. That's right. I normally have all this stuff preloaded, but again, you know what happened to my computer? One of my monitor ports broke, and now I need a different cable. It's a whole thing.
Ugh.
It's a whole thing. But so I'm working on one screen, and it's like working with your hands tied behind your back. I can't do anything on one screen. All right, here we go. Drake May. I'm assuming I've got this loaded. Yeah. So we're on FanDuel at the captain position. Bobbywow, there is opportunity here as well. I'm going to tell you right now. Drake May only 30%. Trevion 15%.
Too low.
It's too low. These other turds, you got Fields at 10. All right, whatever. Contrarian craziness. Little contrarian craziness, even with Breece Hall here. I think it's fadeable at 11%. And then some of these pass catchers like Diggs and, the onesies and the twosies. Too low. Now, what do you think, Bobby? Wow, am I crazy? Is this too low?
It's too low. Too low on Trey. To me, literally, FanDuel, I'm playing on FanDuel tonight. I'm playing 150 lineups, and my only MVPs will be May, Trey, and Fields. You really don't have to get cute on this one. Even in a Patriots smash, this is not a team that feeds one guy enough to pop off an MVP as a pass catcher. Very rare that happens with the Patriots offense. I would be shocked. So
they normally don't. Yeah.
May, Trey, and Fields.
Yeah. And the Jets don't have enough touchdown equity in this game to really even be a captain, a viable MVP outside of Fields, who you're hoping will run for a touchdown or two, in that contrarian approach. But I keep telling you, man, if he's doing that, there's a great chance that the Patriots are already scored 40 points and just went crazy anyway. So he won't be outscoring them. Or if they didn't, that will cause them to do that, which will lead to a Patriot player outscoring them.
Yeah, as people are suggesting, maybe Hunter Henry at MVP as well. I just the salary. There's not enough salary need to put a guy like Kevin MVP.
Yeah,
like that's really what has to happen. He's not going to outscore everyone, but there's just not enough salary to spend to make a good case.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I think you can go all in on those two. GA, stay Posey. We have done the research on this, and defense captain has one, but it's like at a 3% rate on these showdowns. So there is some viability, or like a 2% rate on these showdowns. So like there is some viability to playing a defense captain, and if ever it could be done, certainly tonight with the Patriots. If you wanted to get weird, maybe that's how you can get crazy and weird. I could easily see the Patriots defense in this game putting up a 20+. Remember how bad the Jets are, and it's worse on the road, and it's worse on a Thursday, and it's worse against a good and actual real life good team. So like there are so many things working against the Jets here. I can't even fathom it. So this is one of those times where if you wanted to throw a couple of points on Patriots defense as an MVP, I don't mind it. I don't love it. I'm not doing it crazy, but if we're trying to do some weird shit to try to be a solo takedown of a tournament, Bobby, give me some solo tournament weirdnesses. Patriots defense MVP.
Yeah, that could get it done. I think a kicker at MVP could get it done. Again, ugly Thursday game, slog fest. The Patriots look worse than we thought. Can't punch the ball into the end zone. You can see a kicker getting it done as well, but there's so many garbage flex options here that I actually think there could be a solo takedown even with the 3 guys at MVP that we listed.
You think so? So all right, let's scroll through these turds here real quick, and see like, all right, here's the thing, if you look at what's going on with FanDuel here, a lot of these scrubs are getting zero ownership because affordability is just there. You don't really feel the need to pay up for too many guys. So like, wait, this is captain. Let me go to the flex. And yeah, you go down. Oh, Terrell Jennings. Gross. Arian Smith, 7%. Jeremy Ruckert, no. But like, yeah, I mean, like a turd like Isaiah Davis all of a sudden punches in a miracle late. By the way, that's the whole reason why you don't play Hall also. The touchdown happens, but it's Isaiah Davis. Like the miracle happened, and it goes to the other guy anyway. Kyle Williams, if he pops off at 8%, like who are some of the turds like that could open things up? Do you think?
You name some of them. I mean, Kyle, I think Adonai Mitchell. You talked about him on DraftKings. He's a turd that if he got some run here, couldn't you see him breaking a big play, and all of a sudden, oh my God, Adonai Mitchell's in the nuts. He had 1 target, 1 catch, but he's the type of guy. He's like the quintessential showdown turd. He's the MVS.
Yeah.
In a way.
It won't take much because of how this game projects. So ugly, so low scoring, so gross. And the affordability factor here is not going to force too many FanDuel people on him. So Bobbywow, I think you could actually, if you're willing to sack up and go mostly May and Trevion at captain, you can cycle through a lot of these possibilities if you're running 150 trying to take down a big one.
You just have to be willing to leave salary on the table here.
Yeah.
That's the path to a solo takedown on FanDuel, especially on a slate like this.
Why would I not? We shouldn't sleep on the Jets? Man, I am sleeping on the Jets. I don't know.
Not even sleeping on them anymore. They just objectively stink.
I'm straight hating on them. All right. Dixon Sider, if Arian Smith is the nuts captain, I will give you a free year of DFS Army. How about that?
I feel like he does this every week with a player.
It never
just hits. So that one time out of 50 showdown games that we have, he'll be like, "Remember that guy?
Yeah.
I told you."
It never hits. Although every once in a while he does throw an "I told you so" at me. He does do that every once in a while.
Tyler Johnson on FanDuel, sub 10% owning the flex as a WR1.
Yeah.
Again, there's ways to get unique here, even with your kind of like run-of-the-mill MVPs. I think that's the path.
I would agree. Let's do a quick FanDuel sort of, I'm not going to call it a base lineup as opposed to like a full build, but if we were playing FanDuel tonight, you're pretty much starting with Drake May. You got Trevion Henderson in the line. Oh, he's too cheap. Oh, that's
Give me Trey. Give me Trey at MVP, man.
Yeah, you want to flip it, put the thing down, flip it, and reverse it. All right. Here we go. I mean, you got 7K left after you start with these two studs. And again, this allows you to not have to worry too much about Fields and Breece Hall. You can't afford them all. So, all right, cool.
I think you plug Justin in. You got on FanDuel, plug him in. Let's see what we got.
So gross. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be good. Let's see. How far down do we have to go? Patriots defense, 7K. We got kicker down here at 6K. Ty Joe, Matt Collins. So we're in a really shitty zone for
Where
the
are
last
the tight ends
week.
at?
They're more than this. They're they're 7K, they're 6K, they're 7. Where's what's his name? Jets tight end Mason Taylor. There's Hunter Henry at 8,200 and Mason Taylor at 74. You can't do it. You can't. They're giving you a gift. This is preferable. You don't even have to do this. Take him out. But you're right. You can play Hunter, get Pat's defense going. Mason Taylor, if we want to have a jet like that, or even kicker, Nick Folk, whatever. 79 hundo. Yeah. Oh, you know what? I don't like that there's two jet pieces in here. Maybe I'd go with this. Double kicker, defense, couple pieces from the Patriots. Crazy or no?
No, not crazy.
I like that. By the way, I'll give Kunaf has a good idea here, and I'm just going to expand on that. Remember I said earlier, it wouldn't shock my world if Fields didn't even finish this game. I would not be surprised if Tyrod Taylor comes in to replace him. Remember, the Jets were about to bench. They did bench Fields, but then Taylor got hurt, and they brought him back. Like the Jets already made a decision, bench Fields, we're done. Any bad play from Fields, they will probably pull his ass, and you might see Tyrod Taylor in this game. Does that mean Tyrod Taylor can do something? I don't know.
Problem.
But if that does happen, it is a net positive for your Mason Taylors and Jets turd wide receivers. So keep that in mind, guys. Do not sleep. Yes, Kyle Williams is in play, but don't sleep on the Jets benching. I mean, am I overemphasizing the downside here, Bobbywow? Am I doing it? Am I taking this too far?
I think the problem isn't so much, that it's possible that Fields gets benched. I think it is. Just that we also would need Tyrod to do something.
Yeah. And I don't say play Tyrod. I'm just saying beware that the only thing that would happen with Tyrod is I think it would net help the pass catchers from the Jets.
Yeah, maybe.
So like all of a sudden now Adonai Mitchell has a good play, not because Fields was throwing to, which means, I think the continuation would be, I'm going to mix through my Jets turds in these runs with the expectation, knowing that Fields probably not going to be able to support one, but some of these other guys could.
Yeah. Again, I can't get off the fact that it feels like Fields is just everyone's gonna be like, wow, where did that even come from? He's somewhat playable again. We'll see. Yeah. To me, the Jets, Fields is all they have. If they bench him and give up on Fields, I know he's only on a 2-year contract, but
no, he's done.
He's the only salvageable piece on the whole team.
He's not at this point. No, I disagree. I think
because who are you going to draft? You're not going to draft a QB.
Why not? You're not pick one. They will draft a QB.
Who? I know, but he's going to stink, is what I'm saying.
Oh, it's not going to be good, but they have like a bunch of first-round picks over the next 2 years. Listen, they got to rebuild the team again. Fields is not the answer. Fields is a bad version of Tim Tebow. Like
I know he stinks. You are look.
He's not a good version. He's a bad version. Tim Tebow. I
was in your same exact shoes 3 years ago.
Yeah.
4 years ago.
No, he's a bad version of Tim Tebow, meaning I actually think Tim Tebow had better arm skills and defense rating skills than what Fields has.
That's it may be the most evil thing you could say about a quarterback, because Tebow, I loved him to death, but God, his arm.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I have not seen where Fields has progressed at all. Even in these games where the Jets have scored and they've come back, it's not been like Fields throwing for great stuff. It was Breece Hall taking over the game last week.
I fully agree.
Defensive touchdowns. I haven't seen anything where Fields has looked good. Now, did the Jets give him any help with their terrible group of pass catchers? No. No help there. But
I think at the end of the day, though, if we're just strictly talking about fantasy football here, Justin Fields does two things well. He can run the football well. We know that. And as a quarterback, that's one of the things that you look for when you're, playing DFS. Number two, he actually can throw a decent deep ball, right? And so based on those two things alone, like, it's conceivable that he could make it happen, even when it seems like there's no chance.
Yeah.
I guess that's all I'm trying to get at here.
I just don't think the Jets have somebody to catch that deep ball. Maybe it's Adonai Mitchell. It might be, Garrett Wilson done probably for at least for the fantasy season. I don't know if he'll be back this year at all. Maybe they will bust out with Adonai and just like throw it to him a couple times. So let's get a little bit of exposure to those Jets pass catching turds, Arian Smith, Adonai, Ty Johnson, whatever. I'm going to cycle through. Probably not more than one of them.
Yeah,
just one.
Yeah, I agree.
Just one at a time. And a little Mason Taylor, and that's it. Just mix them up and play a lot of Patriots players and win a tournament, win a showdown tonight. Now, let's not make it too complicated.
Yep. I think I'm going to make a rule. I'll literally make a rule. No more than 2 of Jets running backs, wide receivers, tight end.
I might make a rule of no more than 0 Jets running backs. Like, I might make that rule. At most, 0 Jets RB. Just fuck it. Why are we playing underdog running backs on shitty teams? Like, no, let's just not play that. It's gonna egg in my face so hard. It's the worst when I say that and I'm go hard on a spot and then it's wrong. Why don't you guys compliment me when it's right?
You're 100% right on Breece Hall being a bad play on paper across the board. The only argument to be made is that he's the only player the Jets have. He's the only weapon they have on the offense.
I could see him scoring the most points of any player of the Jets, but does that get you reasonable exception to pay up for him? Because he's expensive. So you have to give up another
It really
player.
doesn't. It really doesn't. It's contrarian, which is odd because he's still going to be somewhat high owned. So yeah.
I like it. All right, guys. That's going to do it. Oh, wait, here we go. We got a serious question, so I'm going to answer serious. Would you play Breece Hall ATD if you just keep him out of just play Breece Hall?
Anytime touchdown.
No.
I'm assuming.
I mean, if you want to do it you can't hedge DFS in the sports book because you lose.
Your odds aren't good enough. Your touchdown odds aren't favorable enough.
No, you also lose in DFS. That's the problem. Like, even if you're right and you full fade him, you still lost, right? So that, it's hard to, you can't really do that fade too much. I would definitely, Breece Hall anytime touch. I don't know what the odds are. I'm assuming it's like what, plus 120, plus 110,
plus 185.
Oh, I mean, they're warning you. They're not looking for a tutty from my guy. For a starting running back, Bobbywow, that's the worst I've ever heard.
Every single player except for one is plus juice to score.
And they're not scoring.
Trevion Henderson is the only player. He's minus 175 to score.
Load up on Trevion. Bet the
next best is Diggs at plus 130.
Yeah, and because you can't count on who they're going to throw touchdowns to. As a matter of fact, if I had to bet a crazy touchdown prop for tonight, Bobbywow, I'll tell you which one I would do. I'm not paying minus 175 for Trevion. Fuck that. Right? I'm not laying that much chalk for Trev. I think Hunter Henry to score a touchdown. That's probably sitting at like plus 180, plus 220,
plus 140.
Oh man, people are already betting it. Gotta use Sharp app and find the best line for that one. I feel like you search that line out. You could probably get like a plus 160 or something better somewhere else.
If I'm betting anytime, it's probably one of the backup running backs.
Isaiah Davis to score a touchdown.
Isaiah Davis is plus 900. I don't know. I don't know if the Patriots backup has odds yet, but if he plays, that might be the best anytime bet of the slate. Terrell Jennings.
But we don't even know if he's playing. By the way, Dearness Johnson, the other guy who's backing up Terrell Jennings, if Jennings is out, has had meaningful DFS games in his career.
Yes. If Jennings is out, there's a solid case for Johnson to be made.
What's up, Danny Pettiford? How much to join? Danny, go to DFS Army. We have a weekly subscription. You want to do for NFL and NBA only, you want to do the core 4, which covers the core sports: NFL, NBA, NHL, baseball, basically primary sports. I have no idea how much that stuff costs weekly. I don't know. I think monthly it's like $69.99 or something like that. So do the monthly, use code GEEK, 10% off. NBA was absolute fire. We've been destroying NBA this year. You guys got to get in there. It's great because we have a full team monitoring injuries, updating projections. Everything's happening in real time, and everybody's being notified in our Discord in real time as things are happening. Oh, this guy's out. This guy's getting the minutes. Yesterday, we were like 3K players that all were core plays that all popped for like 40 points. It was nuts. So all I have to say is get in there. Promo code GEEK. For those 2 sports, I recommend VIP. I recommend you do all sports because that's how we roll. I'll also tease that we have a big sale coming up on Black Friday.
Oh,
ahead of the Thanksgiving slate, we're going to do something really special. So I'll tease that as well. Yeah, the ARBs as well. I mean, John Marchese knows the Sharp app. You're printing cash on the ARBs. I'll talk more about that on Tournament Tactics. I need my screens for that. But that's going to do it for this one, guys. Good luck tonight. Showdown, breakdown. Back here tomorrow, Friday at 5 p.m. sharp for Tournament Tactics. We're going to get into the main slate. We got a lot going on this main slate. I love this slate. Once again, I loved last week's slate until it started.
I'm going to find out if we're jamming with Jammo tomorrow. I can't wait. We're not. If I'm able to sleep.
Yeah, well
you're not jamming with Jammo.
No, we'll be jamming, but are we going crazy with Jammo in that matchup? No. As much as I want to, Bobbywow. I know for the brand, I might do the dance, but we're not playing.
If you're going to stand Andy Dalton, the least you could do is put your money where your mouth is. But we'll get to, we'll talk about this tomorrow.
I'll have a couple.
Lot to discuss.
Yeah. All right. Good luck tonight, everybody. Helmets up. Let's see some tournament takedowns in the Army Discord. I want you posting those big wins. Patriots onslaught is on. Go grab a lobster roll and enjoy the show. Let's go. Good luck, everybody.